debating what are we going to do with all these paintings that we've accumulated over the years. And the first impulse with most collectors is to give it to some big reputable museum where it goes into the basement and it's never seen again because they put it in storage in the basement. So we said, okay, let's think locally. Okay, 2 of our 3 children graduated from Fort Lewis. We've always had a very close feeling about Fort Lewis, and so we decided this has got to be it. And so that's where we've gone, and it's been a delight to us.
And we appreciate the fact that Jeannie Braco and the people at Fort Lewis think enough of the paintings to show them now and then. I think the first 2 pieces we got, one by Harrison Begay and one by George Keobone, I got them both at the same time.
This was the period of time when Bill was going to DU to try to use his, what did they call it? GI. They call it subsistence pay that we were getting, and we called it sub-existence pay because it meant a lot of Kraft macaroni and cheese dinners. Then he would, in his spare time during the day schedule, he would go shopping and would come home with things that I said, this has nothing to do with our monthly budget. But there were a number of pieces that were bought under duress.
And now she likes them. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're glad to have them all.
Yes, I've changed my views. Yeah.
But Native American art was not considered art. It was considered kind of craftswork.
Well, some of the best art we got in Santa Fe was in a little shop that was called a curio shop.
Mm-hmm.
It was strictly a tourist trap. So when people come in and they ask us in our home, what's your favorite painting? We don't have a favorite painting. We have lots of favorite artists. And I guess we let that influence our purchases a lot of times.
We don't buy names. There are some of the names that have been promoted to high heaven. I would not even have their work. I wouldn't have their work if it was given to me.
Let's not mention names.
I'm not mentioning names. I'm not mentioning names. But some of the artists do what I call ugly art. I do not like ugly art. I like to look at something on the wall that I can relate to and make me feel good. And some of the artwork does not make me feel good, and I would not have that artist's work. Well, back in the late 60s, we kept after R.C. Gorman to paint Sioux as, not as a portrait, but as an Indian. Every time we go by, he always had something going on. We couldn't get together on it. One Sunday morning, we're coming back from a show in Albuquerque, I think it was the State Fair, matter of fact. And Virginia was in the gallery. And we visited for a while. I said, by the way, is he going to paint her today? She said, oh no, as soon as he gets up, and this is like 10 in the morning, as soon as he gets up, he's got some people coming in to see him. Well, that took care of that. Well, about 10:15, he comes down the steps, rubbing his eyes like this, and we greeted him. We visited for a while. I said, hey, you going to paint her today? He said, yeah, let's do that. And I about dropped my teeth. And he said, go out and get your jewelry. And in the car, he said, I've got the clothes. When he said, well, let's go up to his studio upstairs and we'll paint this painting. Well, here it is by about 10:30 in the forenoon. And he is there with a glass of scotch in his one hand and his brush in the other hand. He painted this painting in about a half an hour. I said, okay, give me an invoice, I'm gonna pay you. Oh, you don't want that painting. I said, come on. So we argued good-naturedly for a little bit. Finally, he sits down and he does his invoice. Well, at the time, as I say, his paintings, originals like this, were done, were about $350. He writes the receipt, which I still have. Lady in yellow skirt, $350. Less modeling fee of $300. Balance is $50. So that's our $50 Gorman. Well, when he had a show after he died up in Denver, I called him and asked prices, and she started rattling off prices for prints. And I said, oh, come on, originals. Oh, originals. Well, now this is a few years ago. His watercolors are running between $21,000 and $23,000. And we have his last acrylic, yep, price, $75,000. So we figure our $50 Gorman is not too bad an investment, if you want to call it investment. We have never, ever bought anything for investment. And anybody that asks me, which has happened over the years a lot, what can we buy for investment? I shut down right then. I will not tell them. And sometimes I know very well what's going to be, but I will not tell them. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you don't buy artwork because you love it, then don't buy it.